Yeah, guys, welcome back. We are starting a new topic called work for energy. Okay. Yeah, circular motion is not entirely over. The idea of horizontal circular motion is only discussed until now. Okay. There is a huge bit of circular motion which is beyond this topic. Okay. Once we discuss the topic of work, power, energy, basically we need to learn about kinetic energy and potential energy and other things. Okay. Once we are good with these things, then we can go back to the vertical circular motion and we will discuss vertical circular motion separately. Okay. So vertical circular motion can be a part of this topic. We could say that. Until now, we only discussed horizontal circular motion. So circular motion is not entirely over. Yeah, we will come back to circular motion again in this topic. Okay. So let me start with this topic. Until now, the kind of quantities that we discussed in physics, we've talked about displacements, velocities, accelerations. Then we got introduced to forces, friction. We talked about forces, friction, acceleration, and their relations. And then we talked about a circular, angular displacement, angular velocity, angular accelerations, and things like that. So as we were discussing all these things, we always neglected one important thing, which is like the most important thing in my opinion. Okay, this topic right here is the easiest of all. Okay, this topic is the easiest of all, and also the most important of all the topics. Okay, I forgot to put my phone in silent. Just give me a second with that, otherwise it breaks a minute. Yeah. So where was it? This is like the most easiest topic of entire mechanics and also most important. Okay, with this topic we are going to use this idea on a lot of points and a lot of ideas. So let me jump into the topic. I am not going to start with work or power. I am going to start with the idea of energy. Okay, we'll need to define things like work and power, but energy is a term that we already know. Okay, now this entire topic stands on one simple idea, that the conservation of energy. You know already this thing, like you've heard of this thing. Energy of any system or entire universe, the energy of entire universe or the energy of any system, it must be constant. So we take this as a shortcut. We take this as an idea, the a constant energy, the idea of constant energy, and we use it everywhere that we need. Okay, in every topic that we can, we just simply use it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. We are going to do. Yes. Fine. I'm going to talk about energy for now. The first important point in energy is basically kinetic energy. In fact, this is the only type of energy. Yeah, you might hear about other energies like potential energy, chemical energy. They're not exactly energies, they're a bit of different ideas. We don't talk about that thing right now. Okay. Kinetic energy is the most basic energy. Okay. First of all, this is the most ideal, a simplest way of energy that we can talk about. Any body moving with a velocity, it has some energy. Okay, any body which is moving with a velocity, the reason to describe this is much difficult. Okay, like why did we define a term called energy, kinetic energy? That actually takes us into the roots of mechanics, which we should not go right now. Okay, we don't go there. We are only starting with the idea of the definition itself, the kinetic energy, like a blob, a body of mass which is moving with a velocity v, and we define the kinetic energy of the body as half mv square. Now, I should reframe my statement. It's not actually defined for a body, it's actually defined for a point mass only. Whenever you have a point mass moving with the velocity v, then only you write the kinetic energy of that point mass as half mv square. I'm strictly clearly telling this because we cannot use this idea of kinetic energy everywhere. Let us say a man is running with a velocity v. A man's mass is m, capital M. If you write the kinetic energy of the man as half mv square, it is a big, big blunder. Can anybody tell me why? If you have any answer to that, raise your hands. If you write a man is running with a velocity v and his kinetic energy, if you write the kinetic energy as of the man as k equals to half capital M only, yeah, v square, it is a big blunder. Can anybody tell me why? You shouldn't write that. I just made a statement clearly about it. It is only defined for point masses. We cannot use it for a man. Nobody knows, not a single person raised your hands. Why? Okay, anyway. When I have a point mass and moving with the velocity v, the kinetic energy of the point mass is half mv square. This statement is clear, it's simple. When I have a block mb, let us say, moving with a velocity, if I'm 100% sure that each and every point in the block, there are infinite number of points in this block. There are millions and millions of points in this block. If only I am sure that each and every particle in that block is going with a velocity, then the total kinetic energy can be written as half total mass of the block into v square. It's as if you're actually adding all the little kinetic energies and writing as a whole kinetic energy. That is the important point. Okay. Only when I'm sure that each and every point has the same velocity as a block. Okay. Like we cannot take it as an entire block. I'm repeating it. We cannot take it as an entire block. We're actually considering the block as little point masses, and all those point masses are actually going with a common velocity. Now here is a trick. If only a man is running with a speed vc, let us call it as, and I shouldn't call it as, I should not call it as, definitely don't have the right to say the kinetic energy of the man is half mv square, because the points in the hand, the points in the legs, the points in his body, not all of the points are going with the same velocity. Let me repeat that. Not all the points are clearly not going with the same velocity. It's just center of mass, maybe just say it's a center of mass moving with its velocity, but all of them clearly are having different velocities. All the points in his body are clearly are moving with this different velocity. So in the case of him running, you cannot write the kinetic energy of the body as half mv square. You cannot do that. If only a man has got thrown, like somebody has thrown and he's so stiff that each and every point in his body, all the points in his body are going with the same speed, then yes, you can write the kinetic energy of the man as, you can definitely write the kinetic energy of the man as half mv square. This is a very important point. You need to understand that point. Okay. You write the kinetic energy of a full mass, a body, only when the kinetic energy of the entire body, I mean, only when you are sure that all the points, each and every point in the body are going with the same speed. Only when you're sure you write that, otherwise you shouldn't. But in most of the problems, we simply consider that it is kinetic. It is basically the idea is like kinetic energy is half mv square. But the idea is only defined for point masses. Remember that point. Let us say I have a cube, or that cube is rolling like this. You don't yet know the idea of rolling, but if the cube is rolling about one of those points, it's just toppling about one of its points. We are pretty sure that different points on the block have different masses. So no, we cannot write the kinetic energy as half mv square. It doesn't work that way. We are only writing the kinetic energy of the mass when we are sure that, if only we are sure that each and every particle on the block, all of them are going the same kinetic energy, then only you write the kinetic energy of a body as half mv square. Okay, this is a very important point. That's why I repeated it so many times. Okay, in any other case, you can take lots of cases. Let us say kinetic energy of Earth. Kinetic energy of Earth, which is going around sun. I'm sorry, I drew sun smaller, but kinetic energy of Earth, if only I have to write, if only I know the speed of the Earth in the orbit, I shouldn't write the kinetic energy of Earth as half mv square. It is not half mv square. The kinetic energy is definitely not mv square, because Earth is also rotating. So the points on this side and the points on this side, they clearly have different velocities, different particles, different velocities. If only Earth was not rotating, there is no rotatory motion, there is only translatory motion. You will get to know about these terms later, but sure. But basic ideas, right? Like when the Earth is not rotating but just going in the straight orbit, then only you can write it as kinetic energy of Earth is half mv square. It is clearly rotating and it is moving forward, so you should not consider the kinetic energy just like that. So be careful about this point, the idea of kinetic energy. Now One more question to you people. You now that you've known the basic introduction, basic idea of kinetic energy. My question: does kinetic energy depend on the frame of reference? If anybody has an answer, raise your hands right away. Does kinetic energy depend on frame of reference? If you change the frame of reference, does kinetic energy change? Sharath. Sharath, speak.
No, sir, it doesn't change.
How? Let us say a block is moving with a velocity v, and I'm watching
Yes.
it from the ground. Okay, there is another block also, let us say moving with v. So let us not speak about this block for a while. Let us look at this block, which is the whose kinetic energy is half mv square.
Half mv square.
But when I stand, like when I shifted the frame of reference into this block, the velocity of this block is zero. So the kinetic energy is becomes zero.
Sir, like according to the conservation of kinetic energy, energy
There is no
can
such
neither be
thing as
created.
conservation of kinetic energy.
Sorry, I meant to say energy, sir. I meant to say
No,
energy.
no, no, no. Aniket has an answer. Sai Vamshi has an answer. Aniket, what's your idea?
Sir, kinetic energy I think depends on the component of the force, right, sir, in the direction of displacement.
There is no force here. We are not talking about forces yet. We are just introducing ourselves to the idea of kinetic energy. And my question
Without that, I don't know, sir.
is kinetic energy constant? If you change the frame of reference, does kinetic energy change or not? Sai Vamshi.
Sir,
Sai
it
Vamshi?
depends on
Yeah.
the reference frame. Sir,
I can't
Sir, it
hear. I
depends on
can't hear your
reference
voice.
frame. Sir, it depends on the frame of reference.
Oh, you say it depends on the frame of reference. Okay, cool. Aditya?
It depends, sir.
It depends on the frame of reference. Raghav in the text says, sir, kinetic energy primary depends on velocity. Yes, Raghav has a better statement here. Kinetic energy is a primary thing, it's like a primary quantity. It depends on a velocity, first of all. And since velocity is clearly depending on the frame of reference, yes, kinetic energy changes with frame of reference.
Yes, sir.
With frame of reference. Remember this point. Kinetic energy clearly does change with the frame of reference. Aniket,
Yes, sir.
you raised your hand, so I thought you had
Oh,
about.
sorry, sir. Wait,
Sir,
I forgot to.
Yeah, Vamshi?
sir, kinetic energy dependent on motion. So that's why we can say that it is frame of reference like that.
Yeah, in a way, yes. Kinetic energy is the idea. The idea of kinetic energy itself, like the way we defined kinetic energy, is depending on velocity. And the velocity is clearly depending on, I shouldn't say velocity, because it doesn't depend on the direction. I mean, it kind of, in a way, it depends on the direction. Okay, let us take a look at this question. Okay. Karthik, sir, I tried to join. I was not able to join, whatever. So here is a question. Let us say I have a block going in this direction with a velocity v. I have another block going in this direction of velocity. Both the blocks are having the same mass m. Okay. Now the kinetic energy of this block is clearly half mv square. The kinetic energy of this block is also clearly half mv square. We are clear up to this point. Now both the blocks are moving the same direction only. I'm sorry about that. And I am standing on a platform which is moving in this direction. So when I moved, I don't stand on the ground anymore. I'm standing on a platform. I'm standing on a platform whose velocity is in this direction. All right. Now, if only I move in this direction, I have to add what? I'm sorry about that. I just have some allergy. So in this frame of reference, if strictly speaking, the resultant velocity of this thing is zero. This thing is zero. This thing is zero. And this thing is zero. No. This thing is not zero. I'm sorry. I shouldn't delete this thing. Here, the resultant becomes a new component. You have a new resultant velocity root 2. So in this frame of reference, the kinetic energy of this block is become zero, and these things disappear. The kinetic energy of this block has become half m root 2 v square. You clearly see the idea. The kinetic energy is clearly depending on the frame of reference, and also it depends on the which direction you're moving. Like in your frame of reference, if the frame of reference is moving in this direction, the kinetic energy of the entire system is changing. Aditya has a doubt. Sir, kinetic energy is a scalar quantity. So how velocities are used instead of speeds? So kinetic, yeah, that's where I'm getting it. Okay, kinetic energy is clearly a scalar quantity, that is for sure, but the kinetic energy idea is clearly dependent on in which frame of reference that you are in. Okay, with the frame of reference that you are in, the kinetic energy is clearly changing. I've just shown you some examples. Why don't you people take some time on that after the class? Maybe take some time on this thing and try to come up with some a lot of questions. Okay, try to come up with questions and get me your answers. Okay, since this is a fun part, I'd like to bring up one of the questions. Let us say you are running in a park. You are running in a park, and when you are running, all the energy that is inside your body is being converted into kinetic energy. All the Arna, what did you not get? I didn't get the first diagram above. Which part? Guys, if you have doubts, raise your hands instead of texting. Where was I? I was asking about a question in the park. Don't disturb me in the middle. Where was I? So you are running in a park, and as you're running, all your energy that you have in your body, let's say chemical energy, is being converted into mechanical energy, which is nothing but kinetic energy. So you're running, you have some velocity now, there is kinetic energy, and you stopped. When you stopped, you actually converted the whole energy into friction in between your frictional heat in between your foot and the ground. Okay, you might not know, you are not aware of all these words. It's totally fine if you're not aware of these things, but I'm just bringing some practical knowledge question here. Okay, there's some basic practical knowledge question. There is no rocket science in it. You're running in a park, all the chemical energy in your body is converted into mechanical energy, which is kinetic energy. All the kinetic energy is again converted into heat when you stopped. That deal is fine. But when you're running on a treadmill, you're not gaining kinetic energy. Now, not just that, your chemical energy, the chemical energy that's inside your body is being converted. And there is also the treadmill, which is being fed up with the, electric motor. So the treadmill also is getting some input. It is using some energy. You are losing some energy. Where is this energy actually going? Where exactly is this energy going? So you are using your chemical energy. The motor is using the electrical energy. Both are using the energy, and you don't see anyone gaining any kinetic energy. So Sharath says heat. Sharath says it is heat. Sharath, if you have an answer, raise your hand. Sharath.
Sir, I think it's heat because like over time we feel warm and at the same time.
So are you
the-
trying to say that when you're running on a treadmill, there will be more heat compared to when you're running in a park?
Not exactly, sir, because some amount of energy is also taken by the treadmill and will release as some kind of heat energy.
So you
right?
are giving some energy to treadmill.
Sir, might happen, sir, because we put our feet on it and it takes some energy
But
from
the
us.
treadmill, the thread, what do you say, this belt, it runs
Yes,
at the
sir.
same speed no matter what. You put it at 10 kilometers per hour, it runs at 10 kilometers per hour no matter whether you are standing on the treadmill or you're not.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
so
like,
energy
sir,
is absorbed by air in the form of heat. Aditya is a genius. No,
sir,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
sir, like the motor which is present in the treadmill, like it will generate some heat,
No,
and
you are
also,
clearly in the end saying there will be more heat when it comes to treadmill and you're running on a treadmill, right?
yes, sir. Comparatively, there will be more heat, sir.
So there will be more heat. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, sir. Compared to normal running.
But I've never really observed. I've never really felt that running on a treadmill gives me more heat. No, I've honestly I've never seen that. I've never felt that happening to me. Did you run on a treadmill? Mazida has an answer. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Mazida,
As sir, I think when we run, we generate some energy. I think it is being stored.
stored where? Where exactly are we storing it? There are no batteries, or there is no springs, or the energy is not stored anywhere. Now, guys, Mazida, you still have a question. Don't mute yourself. I'll have to unmute every time. Mazida, speak up now.
No, sir, the energy might be stored, like they can use it for future.
Where is it
How
getting
they
stored?
will
No one's actually storing any type of energy in a gym. You go to a gym, you switch on the treadmill, it runs anyway, whether you're standing on it, whether you're not standing on it. That is one thing. And then you run on it, you are burning your calories. The motor is burning its energy. Both the energies are gone. Where? If you say heat, is there any lesser heat produced when you're running in a park? So the belt is moving backward. Or no. The belt is not moving backward. The belt is actually moving in the direction of, with our support as our supports are running only. It's not. I think energy is burned off our body. Can I, Yaniket, tell me?
Sir, the energy is being used up in staying in that place, or else we'll go backside, right? Because of the belt's energy.
Energy is being used.
In staying in that particular position, sir. So both
How
the
can you
energies are balancing each
like
other
what
from the
type of
belt and from
energy?
us.
Staying energy. There is a thing called staying energy. Let's define that.
No, sir.
There is kinetic energy and potential energy, and now Aniket defined a new energy called staying energy. Wow, staying energy. It's quite interesting. No, there is no such thing as staying energy. Now, guys, I'm sure you will not be able to answer this question right now, but try to remember this question and try to answer this at the end of this class, not just today, at the end of this week. By the end of this week, we will be done with, most probably be done with this topic. So I want you to think about this question. I want you to think about this question and come up with a proper answer. Okay, we will get back to this thing. I just wanted to, introduce a little confusion to this thing. Energy is lost in calories. Karthik, what do you mean energy is lost in calories? Of course, energy is lost. Where is it going? Sharath has the best argument until now, but he didn't completely give an answer, proper answer either. Where was it? Yeah. So until now, we only discussed the idea of kinetic energy only. The kinetic energy is defined as half mv square. That is one idea. We only defined it for point masses. That is one more idea. And even for full block masses, we have to be sure that each and every point has the same velocity. Otherwise, we cannot write the kinetic energy as half mv square. We cannot use this. We have to be sure that each and every body is going with the same velocity. Aniket, do you still have a doubt, or I'll lower your hand? Raghav in the chat says, according to my assumption, when someone is seeing me running in a treadmill, then kinetic energy is 0. Therefore, no kinetic energy. Raghav, bring up this discussion later. We will talk about this. This is a very intriguing idea. Okay, we will discuss this thing again, but at the end of this week's syllabus. All right. Now, so this is one more thing that I mentioned, that we should be sure that all the point masses in the body have the same velocity. So when a man is running, like where each and every point of his body is going with the same mass, so sorry, with different velocities, no, we cannot write kinetic energy as half mv square. If you want to write the kinetic energy of this man, you should you should actually have to write the kinetic energy of each and every mass, like half mv square for this point, half mv square for this point, half mv square for, you should have to pinpoint each and every point in his body, and then write the entire kinetic energy as summation of ke1 plus ke2 plus ke3 plus ke4, just like that. Okay, if only you have to write the kinetic energy of a man which is running. Okay, just like that, if you see a body which is toppling, like a cubical block is toppling. It's like toppling means it's just tipping over a point. If only you have the velocity of each and every point, kinetic energy of each and every point, you can write that. You can definitely write kinetic energy of all the points, and you want to write the kinetic energy of the entire body, you simply have to write sigma kinetic energy. That's all. That's better way to write. Sigma kinetic energy of all the parts. Okay, so that is the best reason why we can write the kinetic energy of any point mass as half mv square. So you have a body which has a very complex motion. All you have to do is split the whole body into different particle masses, write the kinetic energy of all the particle masses, simply add them all, write the kinetic energy. So this is one more point I mentioned. And the last point that I mentioned is what was the last point? Of course, the kinetic energy is depending on frame of reference. It is depending on frame of reference. You change the frame of reference, the kinetic energy of a body definitely changes. Okay. Now, once we are very clear about all these ideas, I would like to introduce another thing called work done. Now, the way we define is a very simple idea. Okay. Let me just, this is not, you should be defining this. I mean, this is not how you should be introducing this idea. But let us say a block has a force F acting on it. Because of the force, it has an acceleration A, which is nothing but F by m. And let us say with that thing, it moved by a distance S. The block has moved by a distance S. Okay. Now, this is a new story. I'm just introducing this idea to you. Okay. A block has moved by a distance S. Though let us say it started with a velocity 0, and by this point it gained a velocity v. So what's the best thing that you can write? V square minus u square equals to 2as. So v square minus u is 0. So v square equal to 2as. 2a is nothing but f by m into s. And somehow it starts looking like I send these two things other side. Half mv square. I send m this way, 2 this way. Half mv square equals to f into s. So the kinetic energy that the body has gained, is nothing but the product of the force and the displacement. That is how we write. Like, so whenever you have a block which is pushed by a force, now let me strictly say that this is a constant force now. Is pushed by a constant force and it moved by a distance s. Somehow this quantity F into S is giving me the kinetic energy gained by the block. So you start with this idea saying this quantity right here can be defined as a physical quantity, which is nothing but, this idea is nothing but work. I write it as work. So every time you have a block and you push with a force, the work done by the block, I mean the work done on the block, which is nothing but the force, because of the force, you move the block, the work done by the block, which is nothing but F into S, work equals to F into S. You done some work on the block. So because of your work, there is some energy there. So that energy is nothing but half mv square. You see my point? Like there is some work, somebody has done some work on it. Someone has done some work on it. Now the body has gained some energy. It is as simple. Let us say you have a block, you did some work on it, and now it has gained some energy. It's a simple idea. It's a practical thing, right? How does a body gain energy? You have to do something onto it. So it simply gained the kinetic energy. So as kinetic energy should also be equal to work. That's what I'm saying. Yes, the work is simply stored as a kinetic energy. It's a very simple statement. Except I strictly mentioned that this force is constant here. Because I use the equation of v square minus u square and the entire thing. We are considering the acceleration is constant. When the acceleration is constant, force is constant. Now you might ask, so we only define work with constant force? No. Let me extend this idea to non-constant force also. Let us say a body has force, I mean like the force is constantly changing, it is happening, I mean like the force has changed, started from F1, Now the force is F2. It's changed every value that you can. Since the forces are clearly changing, since the force is not constant, instead of talking about the entire motion, I do one thing. I do consider a small motion by the block, which is a simple displacement dr, and I consider the force F, and the small work is dw, and the small kinetic energy is dke. You're getting the point? In a small displacement, in the small displacement, there is some small work done, and the small work done is nothing but small kinetic energy. You getting my point? So I would write the small work done dw equals to f into dr. The small work done f into dr, which is nothing but small change in kinetic energy, dk. Okay. Now, if only you want the, let us say you want the entire work, you have to simply integrate it. Like, you know the thing, right? Like when the values are changing throughout the motion, all you have to do is take one small instant and you integrate. So that's what we are doing here. That's what we are doing here. No matter what type of force is working on a body, if you want to write the work done, you simply integrate FDR. You simply write FDR for a small part. So if you integrate, you get work done as integral FDR. This is how work done is actually defined as. Work done in a small displacement and you integrating it. You're basically talking about the whole motion. If you remember the idea, the strength of idea of integration, if you clearly remember that, this makes a lot of sense. So now that I have a new quantity called work done, in most of the problems that you are going to solve, the force will be constant. But to be clear, to have the knowledge clear, R is nothing but displacement, or no, it's nothing but displacement, like dr. You can write it as ds if you want. If you people are like confused, I would also write as ds, fds. Since displacement, the entire displacement is s, I would say small displacement is ds. So it's totally fine. You can write it as ds also. Sometimes I might bring up some new words. Don't have to worry about it. Okay. So the new idea that we have here, the work done, the idea of work done is nothing but integral FDS. This is how you can define. Now, what happens when you have multiple forces acting on a body? And now we're not really done entirely. Okay. The proper definition of work done to be actually written as, let us say a body is force like this, like the force on the body is applied like this, but the body actually moved in this direction. It's as if, let me take this example. The block is resting, a force is applied like this. The force obviously have vertical components, horizontal components. Let us say the vertical component is not good enough to lift the block. So the block is still on the ground, but it is sliding. Like it moved in this direction. Like a block is there and you are applying a force at an angle. The block is not going up, it is still sliding in the horizontal direction. Now, so let me just delete these parts. The block has a force F and the displacement as S. Force F and displacement as S. So you're clear about it, right? We only consider the force in this direction, F cos theta. You only consider the direction F cos theta to do all the mechanics. Like, because if you want the acceleration in this direction, you only want F cos theta by M. So everything changes. Now the work done is only because of F cos theta only. So they define work done as the force component which is in the direction of displacement. Aniket, tell me.
Sir, what if the force is coming in many directions and not
Right.
constantly?
We will get there. We will get there. Okay. So if only force is not in the direction of S, you simply take the component of force in the direction of displacement. You simply take the component of force in the direction of displacement, F cos it, and write it as S. To put it in much better way, you have F S cos theta, and since both are vectorial quantities, what do? You simply write F bar dot S bar, a dot product in between those two. It's much simpler way to put it. Sharath and Aniket, you can both speak. What is it?
Sir, in this case, sir, you said like in whatever direction the force is, we can just take it to the displacement direction, right? Or take components. Sorry, take components.
You can take components.
Sorry, sir. Like what I meant to say is, you said that we'll have to take the component of force which is in the
Direction
direction
of
of
Right.
displacement, right? What if we can't do that, sir? What if it's exactly opposite to the displacement?
Yeah, why not? Why not in this case? Let us say the force is like this, and somehow because of some reason the block is going in this direction.
Yes, sir. That's what I wanted to
The
say.
component is of 180 degrees now. So F cos 180 degrees into S. That's all. Now, how much is cos 180?
-1.
So you get minus Fs. You know what that minus means? You
Negative
are
work.
doing a negative work on a body. We will talk about it. I just
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to introduce the idea of only work done today. We will talk about all the negatives, all the positives. What do they actually mean? For sure. But today, for today's idea, I just wanted to introduce you up to this idea only. So if you're clear about up to this point, it's fine.
Yes, sir. Because
Yeah. Okay.
yes, sir. Because I got it out whether we'll be
Yeah, yeah.
having negative work
So
or
you can definitely take
will
the
it be
component as
counted
f
as zero
cos
work?
180. You can definitely take the component as f cos 180. You will get a negative value. That clearly means you are actually doing a negative work. There is a thing called negative work. Yes. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Aniket.
Sorry for the stammering, sir.
Aniket. Uh, yeah. Speak up.
Sir, what if the cos theta part is 0?
Aha. That's a great question. A block, your force is in this direction, but the block is moving in this direction because of some reasons. That could be anything. So the work done in this case is Fs cos 90 degrees because it's 90 degrees. How much? Aniket, cos 90.
0.
So the
Sir,
work
one
done is
small doubt in this.
zero clearly. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, suppose if this force is acting like how we were seeing for centripetal acceleration, changing direction, then also work done should be 0 according to this, but it
Exactly. So
doesn't sound right, right?
centripetal force was doing zero work all the time. Centripetal force was never doing any work because centripetal force was always perpendicular to its displacement. Do you remember, Aniket?
Yes,
Aniket.
sir, but it's changing direction, right?
No, yeah, even though it's changing direction, but it was always perpendicular, right? So that's the idea. We will get to those things. Like,
Okay.
don't hurry into these things. Guys, if you are not, the rest of you people, if you are not getting beyond this point, it's totally fine. I will discuss all these ideas that these people are asking today. I will just discuss them. But it's fun that they are asking these doubts already. It's good. You need to understand the idea up to f bar dot ds bar. And of course, like Sharath asked, if it is in the opposite direction, there is negative work. If they're perpendicular to perpendicular to each other, the work is definitely, I mean, the work, what do you say? The work done is definitely zero. Yes, they're all there.
Sir, so how do we define work exactly?
F bar dot S bar. What else do you want?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is how, like, this is a new quantity we just defined. Like, all we have is kinetic energy only, but somehow we came to this point. Like, I did some basic kinematics equations, and then somehow I arrived at this point saying kinetic energy is equal to this quantity, this F into S quantity. So I made use of the equation that I have. I derived a new quantity called work, and I came up with this whole idea. Okay, so work, to write the work in the best way possible, you should write it as integral f bar dot ds bar. You can write it as f bar dot s bar when it is constant, but when they're not constant, when the force can be in different the force can definitely vary. So if the force is clearly varying, you simply write it as integral. You will definitely see these problems. Even if you don't understand this bit, it's totally fine. Today is just an introduction of all these topics. So if you don't understand that, you will definitely understand them in further topics. And let me get put to the last point for today, where a block has multiple forces acting on it. F2, F3, F4. And the block is only moving in this direction because of some reasons. All you have to do is take the component of this thing in this direction, take the component of F2 in this direction, take the component of F4 in this direction, take the component of F3 in this direction, write all the works done, and clearly you can write the work done sum. Work done is a, what do you say, it's a scalar quantity. You simply can add all the works done. So I would add work done 4 plus work done 3 plus work done 2 plus work done 1 as the entire work done. So this is work done total. You can definitely write this as equals to kinetic energy of the block. Or to put it but much better, change in kinetic energy. If only the block already has, let us say, initial velocity. In the previous problem, the first problem, I considered u equal to 0, right? Let us say u, there is some u, and now there is some v. Okay, so v square minus u square equals to 2as. So v square minus u square equal to 2. In the place of a, I put ms. So that becomes half mv square minus half mu square equals to f into s. So to put it much better way, work done on a body is nothing but change in delta Ke. They write it as delta Ke. The word delta Ke is used here. Change in kinetic energy. It's nothing but change in kinetic energy. This is nothing but the change in kinetic energy, right? Final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. To put it in much better form. And if you have multiple forces, you simply write all the works done equal to change in kinetic energy. You can simply write it as change in kinetic energy. Aniket, you have a doubt again. Aditya's work, rate of work and all we will discuss tomorrow. Don't worry. Aniket, tell me. Aniket?
Sir, here we did differentiation, sorry, this integration. So at different points we can find the force applied and all, right, sir?
Yeah. I mean, you
So-
will look at variable
Sir-
force problems, then you'll understand. Don't worry about it right now, okay?
So one doubt in that.
Yeah.
So suppose the object is moving in some zigzag or haphazard way, then how to do that, sir?
Now, simple idea. Like let us say body is moved like this. How do you define displacement? Do you remember how we define displacement? We only care about this. So all you have to write the displacement and then forces, and that's all. You don't have to worry about the zigzag motion. No. Okay.
So for different points again we have to take separately, sir.
What?
For the if we want to find the force or something.
No.
For different
You're
points, if we want to
taking
find
us.
the
You're taking us into much complex ideas here. Okay. Work done depends on path sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't depend. You're literally taking us into the advanced level problems already on the day one. So you shouldn't do that. Don't pull us. I mean, there are ideas like conservative forces, non-conservative forces. We will talk about all these things, but maybe at the end of this topic. This is way too soon to talk about all these ideas. It's good that you're asking doubts, but not now. Okay. Sumant,
Sir, in that multiple force
I can't hear
problem,
your
can we
voice.
just resolve the
Your
vectors of forces?
voice is too low.
1 second, sir. 1 second.
I can't hear you.
Able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Sir, in that multiple forces problem, can we just resolve the forces and find the net force and we can multiply to
Yes.
displacement?
You can totally simply resolve all the forces, take the net force, take the component of net force, do that.
Find the net. Yes, sir.
Yes, you can do that. Definitely do that. Yes. Good question. Yes.
That was my doubt, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, thanks so
Thank
much. It's been already 50 minutes already. I didn't even realize that. Enough for today. Enough doubts. If you have more doubts, we will discuss that. And regarding the paper discussion, I will send a message in the group what we'll do about it and let you know. All right. So thanks so much, guys. This session was already long enough. So we will discuss about more ideas about work for energy tomorrow. Trust me, this topic is very easy and very simpler to do that. Sai Vamshi has a doubt. Vamshi, what is it?
Sir, not about this topic, sir. Exam
What?
tracker. Sir, about exam tracker, sir.
We will talk about it separately.
Yes,
Okay. So thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much and bye-bye.